Hey Facebook family, this is Rolita, your Thrive Coach, coming to you live with another live video. And I tried to post this on my regular personal page and it didn't turn out really well. But we're on a little field trip today. I hope you can hear me. I am at the main branch of my library system and I've posted over 200 videos talking about different things, Thrive tips, etc. I've posted information from the 7 secrets to spiritual success from Deepak Chopra. I've also been talking about readings from Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So today we're having a little field trip. We're downtown in Main Library, and I want to show you what's really interesting. They have these big cubes down here talking about financial literacy. And the one that I'm standing in front of right now, and I'm going to turn around so you can see it, is called Paying Interest. And I don't know if you can see it over my shoulder right here, but it's backwards. So I'm going to have to figure out how to turn my camera around maybe. But anyway, some interesting facts are on here. Like, for example, if you come around to the side, it says fewer than a third of American adults have 32% have a detailed household budget. Only 46 of U.S. adults have an adequate rainy day fund to help cover financial emergencies. And 54% have not set aside enough to cover expenses for 3 months. Only 40% of U.S. households spend less than their income. And then it comes around here and it talks about Boo and Ella preparing for a rainy and sunny days. So, and it says, are you financially prepared for an emergency? Do you have enough money safely set aside to repair your car, replace a lost phone, or pay your rent for a few months if you lose your job? And we know right now there are a lot of people in Houston that have experienced this, and also in Puerto Rico. They've lost everything, and most of them were not prepared. And that's unfortunate because, as we can see, our government response to them has been slow. Let's say it like that. But what's really interesting, I want to come around here, and they talk about what's a credit score. They talk about, do you know the power of compound interest? $25 saved per week at 5.5% interest compounded monthly. Now, the interesting thing is, nobody's giving you 5.5% interest on a savings. Nobody. So how are you going to save that? They're telling you how much you can earn if you were to save that, but nobody's giving you 5.5% interest on your savings. It says earning interest is a way to make your money grow. Well, we know there's other ways to make you grow. We've been talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We've also been talking about saving in gold. So I wanted to go over to this one over here. I think this is the one. Yes, this one is talking about faulty planning and mind tricks and how your mind plays tricks on you when it comes to money. Practice makes perfect. How many times have we heard that? But when it comes to money, we're often expected to get everything right with little or no opportunity to hone our skills. That's what Robert Kiyosaki talks about. The fact that he wanted to learn how to make money, and that we don't teach this in school. But it's so interesting to find this in the library today. Think about it. How often do you finance your college education, purchase a home, or select a career path? And preparing financially for retirement, well, you've got one attempt, and a trial and error approach won't serve you well. We live with the consequences of these money decisions for a long, long time. So this is really interesting. And I think it's amazing that this is happening in the library right now. And this is the main branch of the library. So I just want to come on here and share this with you. And this is like, okay, this little tip right here. Hungry mall shoppers spend more than shoppers who don't have a growling stomach. A whopping 64% more, according to one set of studies. And we're not even talking about shopping for our groceries. And I don't know if you've been in the mall, but like our mall here, all our food is in the middle of the mall. So you have to walk to the middle, past a bunch of places to get to your food. So you can be really hungry, by the time you get to where you're going. And this one is interesting. This one talks about financial fraud. I hope you can see these. I know they're showing up backwards, but this is talking about financial fraud. And as you know, I was almost the victim of a scam last week. Somebody sent me a check for $2,900, and it's a scam. And they want me to deposit into my account and do something that I know is totally illegal. And they keep trying to pretend like they're not. But this talks about financial fraud. It says, fraudsters use many tactics to get your money. 67% of American adults have received an email offering a large amount of money, requiring an initial deposit or fee. 64% have been invited to an educational investment meeting that was likely a sales pitch. 36% have received a letter stating that they had won the lottery in another country. I never got one of those. I was looking for a particular one because it's one that mainly applies to young people. As I'm looking around here. Because it talks about how young people are so much in debt and taken advantage of. But these are really interesting. Oh, paying interest. This is a really good one, particularly if you're a young person. It talks about 38% of young people between the ages of 18 and 34 have resorted to high-cost, non-banking borrowing. 279,000, the amount that you can expect to pay in interest on the loans you take over the course of your life. That's a lot of money. It says when it comes to shopping for credit cards, 58% of Americans don't bother to compare and contrast different cards from more than one company. The interesting thing about that is if you don't have credit, sometimes you just take what you can get, and you don't really understand that taking that credit card with a higher interest only causes you to get more credit cards with higher interest. These are really neat. So I had to share these with you since I'm downtown at Main Library. And this thing about easy credit, buy now, pay later. This is what happens to a lot of people who live in a lower economic bracket. They wind up using these places, easy credit, all these things. It says, how much are you really paying for what you want? Buying on credit is expensive, especially when the length of the repayment term is long. Interest, the rate you pay for borrowing money, and time for a potent mix. The longer you take to pay off a purchase, the more it will cost you. If your debts pile up, more and more of your hard-earned income will be lost to interest payments. And if you struggle to keep pace with these payments, your credit score will sink, leading to higher interest rates and a vicious debt cycle. This is really cool. It's really cool. It's something that we all should check out and learn more about the difference between needs and wants. And so I've been coming to you with these tips about saving and goal, paying yourself first. I didn't see one of those say that just down here right now. It did talk about saving, but like I told you, it talked about earning 5.5% interest, and nobody's giving you that right now. I mean, that's what you used to be able to get for a CD, but right now interest is like almost minus something. So how are you going to save? What are you going to do? You need to acquire an asset like saving and gold. You need to look into these new cryptocurrencies and find out about what's coming down the pike. They're here to stay. They're not going anywhere. So I just wanted to jump on here and do this live video while I was down here. I was really impressed with these. I'm hoping this video turns out so that people can see some of the things that, here's what I was looking for. It said among Americans who have student loans, more than half, 53%, report that if they could go through the process of taking out loans to pay for college all over again, they would make different decisions. Most young Americans come out of college with enormous student loan debt, which is incredible. I know people who graduate from college and they're $50,000 in debt, and they don't find a job as soon as they come out of college. So these are some amazing panels that I just shared with you. So Once again, I'm part of a mastermind class, and part of what we do is try to educate people on financial literacy. So if you're interested in learning more about paying yourself, saving, and gold, please inbox me, tell me you're interested, send me a private message, whatever you need to do to get in contact with me. Because if this is in the main library in my city, this is a topic everybody's talking about, everybody's interested in. And you're hearing more and more about financial literacy every day. I even heard something earlier today about some proposed changes to people's 401ks, and people are already saying they're not going to be able to make it if that happens. So you need to take control of your personal finances. You need to find out about how to acquire an asset, an appreciating asset, and all these types of things. So if you're interested in learning more, just hit me up. So once again, this is Rolita Nova, your Thrive Coach, coming to you live from the Toledo Lucas County Public Library main branch with information about financial literacy. Hope you have a great night. I'll see you back here tomorrow.